these next 5 out of the last 10 paintings I've recorded. It's kind of heavy. It starts off with the most human one, maybe. I don't know. How much can a human depict the emotions of a cat? This is sadness. Just the beginning of crying. It's a state I'm familiar with. I cry. I have a lot of feelings. You know the band Alabama Sheiks? They, not only they rule, they have this music video for Give Me All Your Love, and it was a music video contest. They didn't even make it, but it's a video that if I watch and pay attention to, it could make me cry every time. It's interesting. It didn't make me cry the first time I watched it, but I've seen it like 3 subsequent times, and it just gets to me. The first 5 paintings were kind of like depicting growing up, and this is kind of like where I'm at now. And the next painting is kind of morbid because it depicts a gravestone. And I wrote this early death. I didn't know what I was going to paint before I recorded these. I guess I could tell a bit of the story of how these 10 paintings came about. I was rounding out to my final set of 200 paintings, and I was down to the final 10. Well, I had 11 left to do. So this is actually number 195 to 199. I believe that's how it works. These 5 paintings, because I did number 200 separately. And this said depicted early death. So I just put a gravestone. Feeling borderline suicidal. Just have a feeling heavy thoughts. And this is where, like, it kind of reaches out, these 10 paintings reach out into fantasy. Because obviously I'm living still. I have no plans on suicide. Suicide feels stupid. Like, sure, you feel not worthy to live in those moments. But in the next paintings, I kind of like... Oh, these are all done with oils. And I did a lot of color where it doesn't necessarily belong in these paintings. This is a fiction. I drew 2 cats. Different perspective this time. I wanted to portray cats kissing. And it's weird. This is kind of like a fantasy for me. Fiction, like something that will never be. That's what I think about that. I drew an orange cat because that's the way I view myself sometimes. If I were a cat, I was orange. I drew a calico cat as the cat I was kissing. That's my cat Squanchy on my shoulder. He wasn't there the whole time I was painting, but I managed. Well, he likes it up there, so But he jumps down all the time, especially when I'm just sitting down. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm in my office right now. I'm hanging up my paintings as they're done. I needed a place to just store them until they're dry. These oils take upwards to 2 weeks to dry. A whole bunch of feelings I feel when I view these. A lot of time has been gone by. Weeks. I publicly stated that I quit art. And I don't know what that means. I'm no longer an artist in the way that Shia LaBeouf is no longer famous. I can't just quit it. It's who I am. I have nowhere to contain it. And as this depression that I've went through and this accident that I went through in the previous episode where I was driving and I hit a cat that darted in front of me. This, I feel like it was fictional at the time I was painting it, where this cat is just laughing so hard. His mouth is gaping. His eyes are wide shut. Wide shut. But I've had many an exaggerated, exciting moment. And oh yeah, another thing. When I was first starting painting, I was about 11 paintings into my first set of 100. And I was like, I just tackled 4 in one day. I did the Kiss paintings. And I was like, I want to do 10 in one day. So I started right from the beginning. In every way I started the painting, I would just paint it just pure orange because that was the base, and then I would let that dry, and then I'd paint an eye. But I did that. I would paint everything orange. I painted all 10 canvases a matte of orange, or some. I did one purple and one blue. But it got to the point where I was painting and I was having such a good time, but my eyes became strained, and it was becoming painful to focus, and I was worried I was going blind, so I quit painting, and it was kind of annoying because I wanted to paint. That's what I was doing all day. So it became my goal to do that again. So that's why when there was roughly 10 paintings left in my second set, I was going to do 10 in one day. And yes, I did do it, and I decided to depict life and death. This is the 10th painting now. I already depicted a gravestone death, so I couldn't save that for last. So I was looking through a picture of a photo book of Picasso in his 90s, and he was old. And I don't know if Picasso painted with animals on his shoulders, but I enjoy having this pet on my shoulder. And yeah, Picasso was quite old in his 90s. He looked it. And I decided to... Well, that was where I got the image of an old man from. I've seen old people before, but this particular painting... This is Picasso portrait. As if he were a cat in a non-Picasso style. In fact, it's closer to a Garrett Perry style. I gotta give him cataracts, but just kind of in one eye. I don't know. I don't think Picasso had any eye problems. I mean, he painted well into his 90s. I think he died when he was 91. That's my show. Jared Perry. He paints cats. That's a shot from last episode. I just wanted a shot of them all together, and I got lazy and didn't want to shoot anything ever again. I don't think I'm doing any more art shows because I don't have any art in my veins, but we'll see. Well, I guess that's it. I don't know what to do for episode 69. Maybe you could comment. Maybe I'll do something. Maybe I'm retired from painting. Maybe I'm a filmmaker now. Maybe I'm a cat trapped in a human's body. And I'm freaking out. Help me.